愚かで醜い獣よ。私にはなすべき使命がある。
Hey, what's up? Lad here, back at it again. Our next traveler alongside Pardus is upon us, Ceraphina. She's a light and dark apothecary of the famed faction and hailing from the memories of Champion. She functions mainly as a DPS support. Her passive is all about inflicting the cursed status ailment, which is new. This status ailment, when inflicted, allows you to get one more turn of status ailments, but also with this inflicted onto your enemies, she does get a bit more convoluted with her other passives. Let's go ahead and check her out. Her VA is Manaka Iwami. I see a few familiar faces here, most notably Toru from Fruits Basket, but let me know if there's any others that you recognize. Let's go ahead and head on over to her notable damaging skills. Her first one is an SP cost of 81 that becomes 65. It's a 3-hit AoE light elemental damage attack, exploits Dark. This has a potency of 65 and inflicts a 15% physical and elemental defense down for 2 turns, and with the cursed status ailment inflicted, this becomes 3 turns. Her next ability is the same thing, but now she reduces light and dark resist down for 2 turns, and of course with the cursed status element inflicted, this becomes a 3 turn. Her second ability is an SP cost of 54 that becomes 43. It's 3 hit single target elemental dark damage attack, potency 35, and it inflicts combustion for 2 turns. With the cursed status element inflicted, this becomes a 5-hitter. And for her last ability, this is a 3-hit that becomes a 4-hit at 6 stars. It's an AoE light elemental attack that exploits Dark, potency 95. With the cursed status element inflicted, this gets a 100% potency up. For her EX skill after 3 turns and 2 usages per battle, it's a 4-hit AoE Dark elemental damage attack. It inflicts poison, bleeding, combustion for 2 turns. It also gives the front row HP regen, and also SP regen, 3% of the ally's max SP, for 2 to 5 turns based on the boost level. It also fills the front row's ultimate gauge by 20%. For her ultimate, it's a 3-hit AoE light elemental damage attack, potency 130 at level 1 and 185 at level 20. And it also exploits Dark. And if the cursed status ailment is inflicted, this gets a 50% more potency, and also lowers the light and dark resistance by 5% at level 1 and 15% at level 20. For her notable support skills, first one is an SP cost of 74. She gives the front row a 15% to physical and elemental attack, and if the cursed enemy is present, she also raises the physical and elemental damage up to the front row by 15% for 2 to 5 turns based on the boost level. Her second support skill is a 90 SP cost. She gives the front row a HP restore, potency 130, and a SP restore 10 to 40 based on the boost level, and then a HP regen, potency 80 for 2 to 5 turns, and with a cursed enemy present, she also cures the basic status ailments and also gives immunity for 2 turns. Now for her passives. Her attack becomes elemental dark damage attack, and she's able to crit with elemental attacks. Her second passive, she inflicts AoE cursed when hitting enemy weaknesses. And then for her third passive, when the front row uses battle skills that inflict status ailments or abilities that are increased from status ailments, that ability or skill is considered hitting weaknesses. So for example, like Herminia or Jamilia, when an enemy bleeding is present, they'll be able to break shields with their abilities. And then for her last passive, she gives herself a 30% to elemental attack, light and dark damage up when a cursed enemy is present. And then she has a 10% in dark resistance and 20 in light. So taking a look at her stats here, she has the highest elemental attack stat for all the apothecaries in the game. And that of course makes sense as she literally has no physical attacks at all to her kit. Her HP is on the lower side as a apothecary, so watch out for that. So now the main question. Should you pull? Ceraphina sort of has a kit that's all over the place. She has abilities to deal decent damage to light and dark, but it's also able to support your front row of HP and SP regen. And then finally, more importantly, her passive, which allows her front row to break shields and get weakness damage modifiers from just using abilities that inflict status ailments or abilities that gain potency from enemies having status ailments. This might sound a bit confusing. Let me give you an example. The best example is herself. She has a 3-hit elemental dark attack. This will break 3 shields as it's inflicting a status ailment. If the enemy is already inflicted with cursed, this becomes a 5-hitter that now breaks 5 shields and also gives you weakness damage modifiers. This then makes her and other travelers such as Jamilia or Herminia, who have similar abilities, somewhat relevant again. Taking a look at her A4 accessory, it's a 102 elemental attack and 42 SP, and also increases light and dark damage cap from 30% to 50%. And this equipped traveler gets a follow-up dark or light elemental attack with a potency of 100 depending on if that traveler used a light attack or a dark attack. This accessory isn't bad. 100 to auto attack is decent, and a 50% to light and dark cap is pretty good. And the follow-up attack is decent, but honestly it's not an A4 sorcery to chase after. It's more of a nice to have a sorcery. Next, longevity. You can still see her being used in the future. Any travelers who gets a potency up from a status ailment or being able to inflict status ailments could definitely benefit from having her in your team. Now they can also break shields and deal damage to the enemy. And with that, let's go ahead and finish up. Here they're designed 4 out of 5, but for artwork, she sort of looks like a guy, looking almost kind of like an angel in a way. Her voice actress 5 out of 5. This is our girl Toru from Fruits Basket. It's a pity it's not the OG Toru from back then. Abilities 3.25 out of 5. Her abilities are kind of all over the place, but they're also decent abilities to have. The most notable being her passive, which allows her allies to break shields. Longevity 3.25 out of 5. Again, if you get more travelers in the future who inflict status ailments, she could potentially be a great support for that traveler. Global buff 0 out of 5. Time limited, yes. 0.2 out of 5. She again is part of the Memories of Champions, the same banner as Partis. And then overall impression 3.25 out of 5. The status ailment enabler. That's honestly her main gimmick, and she'll be able to allow past travelers to shine in the spotlight again. With that being said, I might do a few polls for her. Let me know if you'll be pulling for her. I'll catch you next time. Take care of yourself like always. Let out.